Would you consider Satisfactory a double A,
Nope.
A, or indie? What was the peak number of developers working on Satisfactory? I don't know what the. So I think like that the term AAA, I think that term is a little bit like. I think companies use it differently. I've read in one of those like.
Sorry.
What was that?
I was gonna say, I mean, they've even started using quadruple A, haven't they? So
Yeah, there was one studio that did that.
yeah. Sorry.
I think the most like agreed upon term is that has to do with the budget of a game. So like AAA is usually when the budget exceeds $1 million, I believe, or maybe it's $10 million, something like that. It's crazy. It's like crazy amount of money, right? When it takes a crazy amount of money to build the game. I think that's mostly how that term is used when it comes to like shareholder explanations and shit like that. I remember seeing it in one of those like end of year thingies, and there was a disclaimer like AAA means that a game was made for more than $1 million, something like that. But I don't know, like all the other terms like double A, indie, like indie is also like one of the most discussed things where like what does indie even mean nowadays? Like indie is like a genre, but like indie is like, is it independent? Like Dave the Diver got like a nomination for like best indie game, but Dave the Diver was not an indie game. Like it was not an independent studio who made that. They had a publisher and there was a whole thing. So like I think these terms are sort of like there's no good agreed upon like definition, I think. So it's a bit like self identifiable in some case. So, but I think we would say that Satisfactory is a double A game because I mean we've been like 30-ish people working on that almost since its inception.
Dawn of time.
Yeah. And you can do the math, like if you take like the regular game dev salary and like multiply it by 30 each month, and you can sort of get an estimate of like how much Satisfactory costs to develop. And we've been working on it for a long time. How many years is it? I already forgot.
I think we said 8 actually today. I think we reached that number.
Yeah. So Satisfactory's been an expensive game to make, and it's definitely not indie because we are. I think Satisfactory started off indie because we were independent at some point, but then we were purchased by Embracer, so we're not indie anymore. So I don't think that label is true. I also want to mention something really quickly that bothered me. On Twitter, there was a trend recently where people were posting like the indie game we're making and the 3 games that we're inspired by. And like, I think it's nice when the smaller developers do that, but then when I started seeing like big companies saying like the indie game we're making and the games, it's like, but you're not an indie studio, so come on, just let them have it. Like, whatever. But that's a tangent of that anyways. So yeah, I think that's
a long, yeah.
My take on it, at least.
I think, yeah, I mean, I don't really give the terms much thought either. I've just very, very defaultly seen Coffee Stain as a whole as like, I guess, bordering on double A, whatever the hell that means. So it's like, again, not even trying to label it.
I think they used that term as well when Embracer were talking about the whole restructuring. They mentioned it's like one of the restructure companies would be like, we're focusing on AAA games, and then the Coffee Stain subsection would be like focusing on AA and smaller games.
Right.
So I think they use that even, but again, like those terms are kind of like, there's no, I don't think they're in the dictionary, like what defines a AAA game. But yeah, FIFA the indie game, exactly. I just want to mention real quick because somebody did the math there. I think 100 million is the AAA. I think I said 1 or 10 but it's like that's too little too. I think AAA is like insane.
It's so weird that $10 million is too little at this point.
Yeah,
dollars,
because like if I Google AAA game budget, because I think like Spider-Man was like 300 million or something like that, right?
Yeah, it was like 270 or something. Yeah, stupid, close to.
Yeah. Entry level and mid features functions between 60 million and 80 million. So I guess like, yeah, it's close to 100.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, so it's a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
And we're not there with Satisfactory. We're not even close. Oh, we're on the way, but yeah.